podcast, I think of strangers who magically become friends, live, on camera, and off camera.
For a community of friends, like-minded people who are open and here to share ideas about how we can be better as a people as a whole.
And give a safe place for
If anybody is looking for a podcast, I love it. It's inspirational, it's ingenious, and it unifies us as a whole, as people. Better me equals a better we.
a better me equals a better we.
What's up? All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the A Better Me Equals a Better We podcast. I am your host, Trey. I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually I say I'm super excited to be back with y'all, but I'm really like fiending. I'm that hyped to be back. Like we missed a week last week. So I'm really fiending. I posted something the other day. It was never intended to be a topic, but my co-host over here was like, "Nah, we talking about that, bro." And it was just, and that sparked episode 12. I brought two people along with me and John that I thought would be great assets to this conversation, and I think we really gonna get into it. And as y'all can see, it's four dudes, so I really need the ladies in the comments because I don't want y'all to say this is the man woman hater club. Like, so y'all got to represent for the ladies or whatever, because I can only do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? So, Josh, could you introduce yourself to our viewers and tell them just a little bit about yourself?
All right, so I'm Josh, of course. Hi, how's everything? I'm a YouTuber, family man, basically hard worker, everything I could possibly do to keep my family in line and do everything I got to do for it.
All right. Let's get it. I hope introduce yourself for our viewers that may not have seen you and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we get you, bro.
Hey, yeah, I had to switch to the headset so I could hear y'all a little bit better. My name is Jose. Family man. I have two kids. They're my life. Big on family. And I'm excited to talk about today's topic.
Facts. I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited to talk about today's topic for a lot of different reasons. So this episode number 12, the title of this episode is "Where Do You Draw the Line?" Right? And I got the inspiration. You got the post, right? I got the inspiration from a post that I saw, and I'm gonna read the post for you guys. I wanted to put it up, but I'm gonna read the post for y'all. And the post says, "Women say making a man a meal is traditional and requires a ring." So we're talking about marriage, but having his baby doesn't. We're in hell. Not married, different last names, multiple baby fathers, but making an N-word a plate is where they draw the line, right? So I just thought that was really crazy. For me personally, I don't think it's more so. I don't think it's more so about the plate per se, but I really think it's more so about where people are drawing the line at in their relationships. Like we seeing so many people that's like in relationships in situations where, let's say, I got 3 kids by this person, but we not married. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are prioritizing one thing over the other, or certain actions within the situation over the other, right? So sticking with what we was talking about originally, the meme, right? The plate. Is it a bit like is it crazy? Have you seen that? Is that a real thing or an exaggeration, John?
Which part?
Like about some women not wanting to make a man a plate because that's wifey duties, but they can have his kid. Is that real?
Yeah.
Or is that an exaggeration?
No, that's pretty normal in today's world. Like, the cooking, the cleaning, the being submissive and everything. Like they literally say, like, oh, those are wifey duties. No, I do agree to a certain extent, but the part I don't get is, like we said, like you can have that man's baby,
Yeah,
with no problem. And on top of that, like y'all will have kids together, like y'all live in like separate places. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it's I don't get it.
So basically, if you could have that man baby, you could make that man play.
Exactly.
Without a ring. And
Yeah,
we're talking about without a ring, because in the post that we have put up, it was like, if I ain't got a ring, I can't make his play, but we got a kid together.
That's just weird.
What y'all think? Bro? Any one of y'all jump in. What y'all think?
You want to go first, Hov?
The kid
you go.
The kid part goes from both, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
like, yo,
I'll say in the traditional sense, because I come from a traditional household where I have my mother and my father. They've been married 40 years.
Sheesh.
So, I follow that guideline of things where, the woman traditionally will weigh hand and foot on a man and, do whatever, take care of the household while the man is out working, doing what he got to do. So for me, and I understand that side of it as well, where it's like, a man should do things for himself as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I like that. Like, we definitely got to bring that up. Like, bro, you got to be able to make your own plate.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Cook, clean. You should be able to do that all yourself as well. You shouldn't have to wait on anybody.
There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, well, I guess what the post is saying is like, why is that where you draw the like?
Why is the plate where you draw the line?
Because you can do everything else. You can have my child, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can do everything together. But when I'm asking you to make a plate, for example,
right, just for an example,
all of a sudden you need a ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, why you didn't clean up just because I was at work? I didn't actually clean up every day. I just came from work. Maybe it was off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so why is that the part that is like, for that you need a ring, but you don't need a ring for nothing else?
I'm even gonna hold you, bro. Hold on, let's go to the comments real quick, right? Because I don't want to miss nothing. Definitely don't want to miss nothing. What's going on, Tony? Tony said, "Hey, fellas, good topic tonight." Oops. Christina said in our comments, draw the line from the beginning. That's a fact. Christina also said, our generation is messed up. We need some old school values present with a remix of modern day. And I agree with that. I think a lot of times we take like old school values and we try to do away with them. You get what I'm saying? Like, as if people shouldn't, like as if they weren't good values. Like, everything that our parents taught us wasn't all wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything wasn't all wrong. Like, Nikki said in our comments, she said, you can give your uterus to that man, sis, but can't make his plate. I'm saying that makes a lot of sense. Like, Tony said, that post is crazy. I won't make a plate, but I will have your child. Like, that's a weird, like, it's just weird. Like,
the thing is with no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would really give me trouble with everything.
Now look, watch this. Now this way it get hot. Christina, you gotta chill. It's still early. You gotta chill, Christina. Christina said in our comments, how many of y'all put a ring on your girl?
Josh did.
I did.
That's what I like to hear, bro.
Shout out to Josh.
That's
7 years. 7 years in the book.
We got all bases covered. We got the married man here tonight.
That's what I like to hear, my boy. My boy put a ring on it, as you should. Mm-hmm. Jennifer said in our comments on Instagram, that post was probably made by someone who had a bad day and was mad at her man.
Sounds about right.
Sounds like a rough day.
Look, sounds about right. I'm telling you, but my thing is this, right? I think for me personally, just taking it a step further from the plate, I think nowadays it's hard to get people, right? Not just women, but it's hard to get people to be loyal without a ring. Like it's so crazy how, like, it's like, all right, well, nowadays it's like people will talk to whoever they want to talk to, do whatever they want to do, and it's like, well, we not married. Like, you get what I'm saying? But we got kids. Like, it's so backwards. Like, we got a kid together. Like that. Like, we're doing lifelong things, but then we can't do the bare minimum to stay together. Like, you get what I'm saying? What you think about that, Ho?
No, I mean, it for me, it just depends on what the ring signifies. Like, what is the ring symbolize, right? What is it? Because in some relationships, like, even for myself, I'm not married to my girl, but eventually I want to marry her.
Right.
And when I feel like some men, when they talk about, oh, I'm not married, it could be looked at as they're not taking you serious, or they ain't got the money or this and that. Because often a ring can be tied to a big wedding, big this, big that. And you want to make sure it's perfect. You want to make sure it's the wedding. Because I don't know about y'all, but for me, a wedding is for the female, right? Like as a man, I'm happy with whoever, whatever, however we want to do it, whether it's a courthouse, whether it's in front of small friends, whatever it is. That's my opinion, right?
Right.
But me and my girl, me and Daisy, we have a plan. We're eventually going to get married. But that doesn't that ring, that conversation doesn't put any doubts in our mind. It doesn't change our loyalty. You know, our love, our friendship, our bond has been tested over the last 8-9 years, and to us, we just know we're always gonna have that, right? And
Right.
I do want to marry her. But for me, it's pressure because I want to make sure that I do it right for when I marry her, right? But at the same time, I love her because she don't put no pressure, because she know that I'm not going nowhere. I've showed her that I'm not going nowhere. I've showed her that I'm not turning my back on my family. I show her that these are our kids. I'm gonna do whatever, and I've shown her through my actions. And some people could look at that and say, you know, could tell her like, nah, that sounds good, but make sure he put a ring on it, right? It's all about what the ring means in your relationship. Right.
It's all about when you're ready. Also,
it's all about when you're ready, because like a lot of things, people throw weddings for other people too. If you think about it, like you throwing a wedding, you throwing it for everybody else to come to see this.
Right,
like sometimes weddings could be this whole other thing when it should be about the celebration of your love and the life commitment y'all gonna make. So it's a lot of things that go into that. Like for me, if I want to throw the perfect wedding for my girl, I want to make sure it's how she wants it, because she's been there, she's been riding through with me, and she's never pressured me to say when you're going to marry me. She's never done that. I've actually proposed to her. So, I proposed to her, but I didn't make a big thing out of it. It was just me and her. I proposed to her to let her know, like, look, when the time is right, we're going to get there. But we taking care of some other things. Not to say that that's not important, but it's all how the relationship is, in my opinion.
Facts. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, you got us looking real good. W for the fellas. W for the fellas right now, bro. You guys looking good because you just really got on this app, bro. You really got on this app just now, bro. And I'm so hyped. You really got on this app just now, bro, and profess your love, bro. Like you got us really looking good out here, because not for nothing, that's one of the things that women be trying to say that we don't do. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like that we have an issue with, like, my man won't do this, especially when it comes to like public affection and stuff like that. So I ain't gonna lie, bro, you really just held it down for the set. And I appreciate that public display, because it now, for a woman that sees that, it's like, let's say you got a man that's not affectionate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's men out here that really feel that way. You just might not hear it every day. Like I think with this generation, like, I think it's really backwards. Like when we talk about the ability to have a child, but then other boundaries or other lines like be drawn. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like because this kid is forever. Like,
we be bugging too, because we're willing to have. Because in order for her to have the baby, she has to have it. But I gotta.
So you did it on purpose. That's what you're saying.
Hold on. But I'm saying like I have for myself. I have 2 BLs.
Right.
Not one. Like they spoke about wanting to have a baby. Okay, we have a baby, but not once did it cross my mind that these 2 women, either one of them, I'm gonna propose. So men be bugging too, because we're willing to have a baby.
That's a fact.
That we like. Yeah, all right, this ain't wifey material, but there's no explanation to that. It's just like, bro, like, John, that don't make no sense. Well, it ain't just John. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But for myself, it's like it legit doesn't make any sense. I was willing to have kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's 2 different women, and I was not thinking about proposing to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially I was real young.
Well, you know my story, bro.
I know, but
I brought the ring to your crib and everything. Like, as soon as I got it, backed it out. Yo, what you think, bro? Like, I might have put a little fire on you with that, because she was definitely looking like, oh, word, just what we doing, like, and I'm not married now, or whatever, but because that just took its turn or whatever, but. I say that to say, like, I had those intentions, and for me, like, I think as a man or just as people, I think sometimes we gotta start looking at things like bigger picture. Like, if I can have a child is really a lifelong commitment. And then as men, right? Now we're gonna keep it real, women. If y'all got something to say, I'm giving y'all. This is the fair warning, right? That something is about to come that might be a little controversial, right? And it's speak now, forever hold your peace, right? As men, Not saying that it's harder, but it's different having kids, because majority of the times, if that don't work out, that kid is going with that mother. And depending on what type of parent you are, that can eat you up. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's certain dudes that's like, oh, yeah, whatever, I'm straight. I see him on the weekends. But then there's other dudes, like, I want myself, for example, bro, it tears me up. Like, can't see my kid every day. Like, or let's really be honest, let's take it a step further. Somebody else is going to raise your child. Just because you got your kid on the weekends, that don't mean that you're raising your child, bro. Like, whoever got him majority of the time, that's who's swaying his mindset. That's who's teaching him different things. That's who he's experienced life with. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can do as much as you can while you got him, but unless you got him majority of the time, as a man, when you have this kid and you didn't draw the right line before you had the kid, now once the mother decides to be with somebody else, you just signed up to have somebody else raise your kid. Like, what you think, Josh?
All right, so it goes without saying, my child's an extension of me. I hold him with nothing but pride, love, care, everything. He is literally my everything next to my wife. 100%, 110%. So with that being said, for me, like in a hypothetical situation that me and my wife were to separate, I know me and my wife have gone through this agreement. We probably would just stay single and do what we have to do to make sure our child is good, make sure our child knows who their parents are and work amongst each other that way, rather than having another person try to come in between and sway my child's mind or anything of the sort to make either one look bad. Not just myself or her, either one look bad. Because a child, no matter what, when they grow up, they're going to see what is what.
Right.
They're going to know what is what, and they're going to know right from wrong. So
that's a fact.
I don't think it's realistic though. Like, if y'all was to break up, you would just, we're gonna stay single eventually.
No, I mean, but that's
one of y'all's gonna, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely, absolutely.
But you're gonna eventually, because I think at the end of the day, like, nobody realistically wants to be single.
No, absolutely.
I don't care how much females you got. I don't care how much guys you got on you. You don't want to be single.
Right. You want to be with one person.
You want to be with one person or whatever. Like, for whatever reason, you just can't, because it's weird, because in this generation, we all want the same thing, but we
all want companionship at the end of the day.
We all want the same thing, but nobody together.
Yeah.
Not everybody thinks the same though. So that companionship you may be looking for, someone may want one thing and you're trying to, vouch for the other, trying to get what you want, and it's conflicting things. So I definitely understand that,
Yeah. I'm telling y'all right now, like, I don't know how people do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to understand with this generation, like, where did the loyalty go? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did the fight go? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, right now, I feel like using that post as an example, we fighting over dumb stuff. Like, you got, like, if we talking about having a baby with somebody making plates, and then the post went on to say, we in hell, because you got people, multiple baby fathers. None of y'all got the same name, but the plate is where we draw the line. We arguing about the dumbest stuff.
No,
we arguing about the dumbest stuff. And I saw Eric Thomas has said this in a video that he did, and I'm not saying that this is for everybody, because what works for me might not work for John or vice versa or any one of us. But he has said in the video, like, yo, I don't care if y'all not getting along. Like, that's your kid. Like, make it work. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, now it's different if it just don't work, right? Because who want to be miserable for the rest of their life or whatever? But if you can make it work, the key is that if you can make it work, if it's something as simple as loyalty, like, yo, only thing this person is asking is that, yo, you be loyal to them. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, leave everybody else alone. Be loyal to them. Like, that's something that you can make work. Like, you know what I'm saying? But too many times I think we be in our own feelings, and it's like, and that 80-20, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting 80, but the 20 I'm not getting, somebody else getting is looking good. So now I don't want to make your place, but I want to go pour his drinks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What you think, Ho?
I mean, to me, it's just the whole idea of just what we're talking about, having a ring before the plate and this and that. I think it just go down to just really knowing the person you're with. Like, I think that's knowing who you with and knowing what you want from them. Like, I mean, I'm just looking at the comments, just seeing, like, I'm just seeing certain things that people saying, like, not dating and things like that. And it's hard, and it is hard. But at the end of the day, I think we all make decisions. Because one thing that bothers my mind, and I had this conversation with you before, Trey, is that people are just so caught up on, like, the ring, right? We got to get married. That's the commitment. But you have a kid. So does that ring supersede your kid's commitment? You had a commitment already. The commitment is there, right? Like, when you become a parent, you don't stop becoming a parent. You're a parent for the rest of your life. And if that's not a commitment, right, you want the ring. So you're trying to tell me that the kid that I have with you is not going to show you that I'm going to stay with you. But if I take you and I marry you and I give you my last name, that's going to show you that I'm going to stay with you. But the same way you can make a decision having a kid and say, I don't want to be with you, is the same way people get divorces.
Yeah.
So I feel like people feel like the marriage is a stamp seal approved. That's it. There's no going back. Right? But as a girl, if you want that commitment and you want that security, I don't feel like the ring or the marriage is the one above all everything that shows that, right? Because I know a lot of people who are married, who's been together for years, and I know other people who aren't married. My parents were not married, and they were together their entire life, 40 years. They were not married, right? It all depends on your relationship and who is it, who is this for? Is the ring for you? Is it for us? What is it? Because if you're a man and your girl saying, well, the ring is showing me that you're committed, then you got to ask yourself as a man, am I committed, right? Before I have a child with her. But I feel like as men, sometimes we'll have a kid with a girl and we know we're not committed. So like Johnny said, like he knew he wasn't going to marry those girls, but we had the kid anyway. So now they want a different commitment. When I can't even commit to you with this. So now I got to give you a ring that I know that I'm not going to give you, but I gave you a child. So I feel like it's both ways. Like, men, we put ourselves in sticky situations knowing that we're not going to marry someone. And I feel like women put themselves in sticky situations wanting marriage, and a man may not want that. Like for me, for example, I could say, I may not want to get married because my parents didn't get married. And my father went to work every day, supported the household. My mother took care of the kids. That formula worked. That's my upbringing, right? So now if I meet a girl and I'm like, well, my parents worked and they didn't get married and they had a good relationship and they raised all 4 of my kids. Now, if she wants a ring from me, then there's a conflict, right? So that's what I'm saying. You got to understand who you with and really understand the person you're dealing with. And because everybody's backgrounds and upbringings is different. So I just feel like the marriage shouldn't be the seal of approval, like, this is it. And also marriage too, if you really want to keep it funky, marriage is that's the Lord. So like for me, and I agree, divorce is not an option. I agree with you. I agree, divorce should not be an option because that's a unity that should never be broken. But people don't use marriage in that way, in my opinion. They use it as a commitment, but marriage is supposed to be between you, the person you with, and that commitment you making with the Lord above. But people use it for something else, as like, look, this is my ring, I'm married, you know what I mean? But that's not what marriage is about. It's about that bond and that commitment you making with the Lord. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole other topic.
Crazy, bro. The funny part about that you just said that, right, is you ever all of us have worked retail before, right? All of us has worked retail. All of us have been promoted before, right? And the crazy part about working any job, whether it's retail or not, but I just use retail because it's something we all have in common, right? When you work at a certain place and you get promoted, they don't promote you and then say, okay, we want to see all of the supervisor or manager qualities. You have to have those qualities for them to give you the job. Like, you don't get the job without having the qualities, right? So I say not even just the qualities of a husband or a wife or the mindset. You get what I'm saying? You're not just going to bounce on me and say that you want to, like, how can you say you want to get married with me one week and marriage, if we saying sickness and health, death do us part, like basically we going through hell and hot water, you who I want to be with, and then bounce on me next week. Like, that means that if we would have got married, you wasn't game, because people make it seem like because they watch all these movies that it's just like a switch that get flipped.
So if we get married and I outgrow you, no.
We got to grow together. That's.
But I'll agree. I don't like my feelings faded away from you.
But if the plan is to get married, then y'all should figure out a way to grow together. That's what I'm. So ideally, if we're getting married, what we're saying is we're gonna grow together. Like, you who I want to be with, and
at that moment,
right?
Because we were. That's what we.
Yeah. And marriage also comes with all the good, the bad, the ugly.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Like,
that's another thing.
You're making that big commitment.
I gotta stay here.
You're trying to give your all to that one person and that one person only and make things work no matter what. That's why that holy matrimony, that whole thing of I'm going with you and only you. This is your ring. This is my promise to you to always stay to stay faithful, such and so forth. You know, how you do your vows and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's that bond. That's that unity created for just you and that one other person.
Right. And we figure it out. The key is that we figure it out. So if you like Bad Girls Club and I don't really jack reality TV, then I got to learn because the idea is that we have to grow together. So we have to find things in common. Yeah, we're not going to like each other every day. Yeah, there might be something that we used to like or used to have in common back in the day that we don't have, but the idea is that we try to find little ways to make sure that if I grow, like I'm taking you with me. Now, there are instances where I think people get into situations like that and they didn't all the way, I guess, change their mindset in the sense of growing together. And then, like, we good now, and then 10 years later, it's like, because we're not acting like we're one. I'm still doing my thing, you still doing your thing. If we married, like, bro, I got a cousin that's married, and he's young. He don't go like, everywhere he go, his wife there. Every time, yo, bro, can you do? Oh, let me run that by my wife. She's involved in every decision he makes. If he goes somewhere, she's there. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they literally become one person. And I think if you do it that way, that's what makes it makes it better. You have a better chance of not growing apart. Now, Tony had two really long comments that I really want to get into. She said, where's that? So Tony said, I feel like a father can have a strong and very strong presence in the kid's life, regardless of what new man she got around. That weekend dad is an excuse. You can be a father 24/7, calling every night, reading books, telling bedtime stories, father-son dates, making sure you have very clear communication with the mother, even with the new boyfriend. That's your child. Forget the relationship. That has nothing to do with being a father. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. I never thought about it like that.
I think I get her big picture.
Yeah, I get the big picture.
Yeah.
Some it's not like that for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because some mothers make it extremely, extremely difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can go back and forth to court, and you can argue with her as much as you want. But at the end of the day, like, you're human, and eventually, like, sometimes you just throw up your hands. Not like as far to your kid,
right? But to the situation,
but just to the situation, it's like, all right, whatever it is. If I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in situations in the past where we couldn't get along, and I'm calling, and it was just like, there was no answer. Hey, I'm gonna go pick him up. There was no answer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it doesn't always work out like that. So for some people, it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that's the situation. If I call and like, either one of them, I'm gonna come pick up my kid. There's no issue.
Right.
You know, but at one point, for whatever reason, but it doesn't always work out that way.
And then you got to think about this when we add another person. I think what Tony said was good, and if you can make that work, like you said, bigger picture. But then there's also when we're adding another personality into the equation. I don't know if this man is insecure, right? Like, that's my biggest fear. Like, and at the end of the day, we know what we all think. Oh, that's your baby mother. You know, if he comes, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people think that there's still something there, that we still will do our thing or whatever. So if I'm calling you every night, you get what I'm saying? How I know it's not gonna be like, yo, why he keep calling me? Do he really want to talk to the kid? Like, now you getting friction, so you might start giving me friction because you don't want friction in your crib or in your situation.
I was about to ask that because that was the situation. Like, she was in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because when she's single, we'll get along real good.
Right.
But now she's in a relationship. Her significant other didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, she didn't like me. So now, to satisfy her, she's making it hard for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to satisfy her significant other, now she's making it hard for me.
Right.
So, like she was saying in the text, like, oh, it don't matter who's over there. Sometimes it does matter who's over there. Because when your baby mother or baby father is next to the significant other, that you know what I'm saying? Like, can convince them. So now y'all having issues over somebody that don't got nothing to do with this kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens with mothers. It happens with fathers. Like, it happens.
Yeah. And then look what Tony said right here. Look at this, Josh. She said guys really need to start checking these females' background before having children. Just like you can have a deadbeat father, you can have a toxic, bitter baby mother that will hold your child over your head for everything, her way or no way.
That's the point.
That's tough.
It's just like,
Yo,
That is
like
definitely.
you know, like I got to the point I was just like, you know what? I ain't even about to argue. Whenever I could pick them up, you let me know. You know, what I'm saying? And was it hurting? Yeah, at first, but you learn to live with it because at the end of the day, as a father, if you're content, you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
it's like cause I can't argue. You know, I remember I told you I went to court and they was telling me why I deserve visitation rights. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at this.
Like, what do you mean? Like I'm not his. And anybody that know you know how you are with your kids.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
then
just
they wanted to like supervise that for. I'm like, for what? Like, I've never hit my like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it ain't like you.
It's not 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Sometimes people be telling you, just go to court. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you go to court for an entire year.
Yeah,
an entire year. Like, it's not that easy. The way for some people it's easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes for other people, it's not as easy as it sounds.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I agree. Like, and I know we both seen that. Like, growing up, people that had kids with people that was, quote unquote toxic, bitter baby mothers. Like, and at the end of the day,
it's like she said, my bad, because females background.
Yeah,
you know, that was my mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, Mello, what, like 22, 23, something like that? Like,
especially no cap, bro. Especially if you're not the first.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying?
Because now the question
sometimes there be signs this.
Now and then they'll tell you it's him, he did it, him, and then now when she your baby mother, it's like, I don't know, like maybe son wasn't bugging as much as you said he was. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then
sometimes families get involved. Like I think I said it before, where I just met my pops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, like what happened? You know what I'm saying? He said, I tried.
Right.
He said, your sisters, your brothers made it impossible for me to see you. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever happened, my father, I grew up with my stepfather. And my brothers and my sisters, my father was like, I was trying to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was making it impossible. And I got a brother who's deported. This dude was wild. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, wow, my father's going like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you only could deal with so much. It's like he told me straight like that. He said, I tried to come see you. I tried to do what I had to do as a father. Your family made it impossible.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Keep fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's tough.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. A lot of these women, I'm not gonna let me not say that. There are women, I'm not gonna say a lot of these women. There are women and men who have kids, but they have kids for the facade of having a kid, and they don't actually want to be a parent. Like, so when Mother's Day come, if you had a child come out of you, you're a mother. When Father's Day come, if you have parts of it, you're a father by definition. But a lot of these people that are mothers and fathers don't want to be parents. Like, they don't want to do the parenting. Now, that's a conversation me and you have a lot. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, again, and I want to make sure that everybody understand that it's not about babies, but more so people having babies and then drawing lines and making those other things like kind of like more important than the fact that you already had a baby. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it all ties back to the same thing: commitment. Right? Yeah. You was committed to having this child. Same thing with marriage. So it's like a woman wants to get married, but are you prepared for what comes with marriage? Because we married don't mean it's going to be this. We're going to ride off into the sunset. We're going to have our ups. We're going to have our downs.
Right.
And, I'm glad that Josh is here because he's married. And I'm pretty sure his relationship, if it's either highs or lows, and how is it because he's a married man, right? So, getting his insight on what it is. But going back to the commitment with the baby, right?
Yeah.
We committed to have this baby, right? Because some girls like, I want to have a baby, or guys, I want to have a baby because I don't want it to see like it's a female bashing because it's not. It just ties around commitment. We having a baby, but are we both ready to come with the baby, right? Like, what comes with the baby, right? Do people talk about in the event if we split up, are we going to go to court? Am I going to give you this amount of dollar? What are we going to do? I ain't had that conversation. Anybody here had that conversation? I ain't had that conversation. We just had the baby. Same thing with marriage. We could get married, but like Johnny pointed out, what if 20 years from now I outgrow you? Are you willing to go to therapy with me? Are you willing to work this out? If something happened, are you willing to do that? And for men too, if your girl is like, yo, it's not there no more, the spark, the romance, whatever it is, are we willing to take everything that comes with the commitment? And tying back to a kid, some girls and some guys say y'all want a kid, but when it's time to raise that kid and you got to be up late and you got to do this and you got to do that, it's a whole different ballgame. That came with that decision you made. It's a commitment to that child, and the same thing with marriage. Whether you're having a kid or marriage, it's either going to be ups and downs. Everything could go good. You can have a perfect life for you and your child and your significant other.
Facts.
But often not, it don't happen like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm not married, right? Josh, I know you married, and I don't know if anybody else. What does marriage like consist of? I'm not married, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, right.
For me,
you always think you have an idea,
right.
but you don't know.
So I like, and on Johnny's point, like, what does that mean? Like, and for me, I want to know, like, since you married your girl, like, how did that process happen? Like, what in your mind thought?
What does it consist of? Like,
it's for me, it's more like time spent. We spend time together. You talk about things. You get real sentimental with each other. You build that trust within each other. Just building the overall quality of life within each other, and try to make everything better for each other. So, for me, I would say, it was difficult at first with me and my wife because we're two completely different personalities. Mm-hmm. It's like water and oil sometimes between me and her. But you got, especially with my son now, you got to make things work. You got to find out, obviously we're not combative. We're not fighting each other all the time. But it's like sometimes we see things differently. Sometimes you got to talk things out with each other, just take a breather sometimes, step away, come back. With a fresh mind, fresh thought process. It's just, there's a lot going into it because you're working side by side with someone at all times.
Right. Do you know what that sounds like to me,
So
Josh?
basically, it's no solo decisions.
No.
Everything is together.
Everything is together.
110%
everything is together.
Gosh, it sound like y'all lovers, friends, and y'all also in a sense become co-workers.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all become co-workers in the sense that like if I'm the supervisor at my job, I can make a decision, but my boss need to know. So y'all kind of like each other, like not each other boss in a sense, but you have somebody that you got to run something by. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like back in the day, I could go spend $500 on some Yeezys if I felt like it. Now I can still do it because it's my money. But hey, babe, I just need to let you know I spent $500 on some Yeezys. Like, you get what I'm saying?
It becomes a why would you spend that? We got this here. We got to spend this, and you kind of work together to figure out what the expenses are, or figure out how we're gonna go about our day together. Like if you're off, y'all both off. Y'all can probably sit, watch a movie or something, get comfortable, relax, enjoy the day, probably go to the park or something like that, hang out. But you're spending a lot of your time together.
Right.
So you might as well have fun. You know what I mean? Like enjoy it.
Right.
Try to make the best of it.
Hov, you said something earlier, and I'm not. You know how Kevin Hart was like, "Nah, we ain't just gonna speed past that." Like, you ain't say that. Like, nah, bro. Like, you said something earlier, and you said, if we go through something, right? Because a lot of times people think, all right, we married, or we got a kid together, or we've been together 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, like married or not, right? Like we've committed to each other, right? And there's ups and downs, but what people forget is that sometimes the downs and the lows is really low. Like, you get what I'm saying? And it may be because of one person, it may be because of another person, but sometimes times get really bad. And you said something that a lot of people, I believe in our communities where we grew up at, they don't use, and that's counseling, therapy. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, yo, we made this commitment. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, for me personally, I just had an experience myself. Like, you get what I'm saying? And bro, I'm in counseling right now. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and when I really sit and think about it, it makes you look at your partner. Like, for me, it would have made me look at my partner differently. Like, had it been like, you know what, this is bananas. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I'm committed. I'm in this. I'm not. We're going to counseling. We're going to therapy. Like we're going to. You get what I'm saying? And not for nothing. I don't see that happen a lot in our community. So you saying that is like, wow. Like I never thought about something like that.
I think in our community is the way people view it.
Yeah.
Let's go to counseling. Crazy, like you know,
right.
Nobody said you was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's the way we view things a lot of times.
Right.
Oh, we especially as men, I got it.
Yeah.
I will figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And I ain't gonna hold you. I just got to a point where I'm like, yo, like as intelligent as I believe that I am, I just got to a point where I'm like, yo, I don't know it all. Like, I really need to speak to a professional. Like, and then after that first day, speaking to that professional, I'm telling you, I recommend counseling for everybody. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, the world is too ghetto to not have somebody to talk to. This like, if I had to leave a Yelp review on Earth, like 0 out of 10. Like, it's too ghetto. It's too ghetto. If it's not COVID, then we got a war with Russia. We had Trump, we almost got him for a second term. Like, life just really been sketchy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to not have somebody to talk to, and then an biased professional, right? So now when you're talking with your partner, you're speaking with an unbiased person, right? Which is usually we try to find unbiased people when we want relationship advice. So you're speaking with an unbiased person, but now this is a professional. So now they study psychology, they study relationships. They can give you, maybe some advice that you may not have. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was really dope that you said that, because I think that a lot of times people just feel ready to give up and move on to the next because of what they've seen in the environments that we grew up in. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there's bigger steps. Like, there's more steps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I ain't gonna lie, y'all really bringing it. Y'all really bringing it. I was scared it being all men here, because I was like, dang, I don't want the women to think we're gonna be on here bashing them. Like,
but we see both sides of the fence.
We got a perfect mixture of men. We got married, unmarried. We got a picture, blend of everything. So, it's a lot of experience and lessons from all of us.
Facts. Kia said in our comments, she said, go to a professional. You said go to a professional and watch who you let in your relationship, because they can make it worse. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. You definitely got to watch who you let into your relationship. And I'll take it a step further. Not only do you have to watch who you let into your relationship, you got to watch who you allow in your life. Because some people have ties to people, like, and we all know this as men. All of us as men, let's just be honest, hate the lingering dude. We hate the lingering dude. Like, I don't care if he the dude, like your ex-boyfriend. I don't care if he your friend that we know is not really your friend. And it's like, yo, we hate the lingering dude. Like, bro, get out of here. Like, get out of here. Or the hating friend. Like, you get what I'm saying? A lot of girls be having that hating friend, like, bruh, every time I come around, she always got something slick to say. Every time you go to her house, we always arguing when you come back. Like, what's going on? Like, so not even just who you let in your relationship, but just in your life. Because if I'm committed to you, not even just married, but if I'm committed to you, then and we interact like that, that means you're going to be around my family. That means you're going to be around my friends. That means that, like, and these people have an influence on me. Like, so it's like, nah, if you got the wrong people around you, like I said the last time.
You think married people should be around married people?
Yes. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly, because I believe that I don't care what it is that you do, right? Even me as a preacher, everybody experiences temptation. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. I am a preacher. I stand on people's pulpit on some Sundays. Everybody experiences temptation. And if you're not in an environment that's conducive to where you're trying to go, it's possible that you could mess around and slip up. We all human beings. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if I hang around in the strip club for a year, like,
Kia love her husband.
For real. Kia do not play about her husband.
Yeah, she holding it down.
Kia do not play. She holding it down for the set. Like, Kia do not play about her husband. Nah, she do not play about her husband, but not for real. Like, I think that married people not is that to say that married people can't have single friends? Yeah, you can have single friends, right? But you shouldn't have your single friends shouldn't outweigh like your friends that are in committed relationships because that's your circle of influence, right? That's why me personally, I don't like the idea of somebody that I'm dealing with, all of their friends or majority of their friends being promiscuous. Like, because at the end of the day, it's not to say that you're promiscuous, but that's the standard. Your circle, right? So now if you do something that's like kind of promiscuous, but it ain't quite on their level, it's like, oh, this is fine. I ain't do what she did last night. But no, it's not fine. Like, you get what I'm saying? So just to bring it back full circle, that's why I believe that married people should have married friends.
But it's tough though because you see certain situations where, like, you got like people that's married, and this person's husband slept with this person's wife that knew each other, like the best friend, like you know what I'm saying? Like you read that type of stuff. So
and kind of to play on that as well, like if you have like all your married friends and stuff like that, you know, sometimes you may go out, you know, with your lady or whatever. And you know, you're going out double date, triple date. You probably go out as a group or whatever. You go out, they do one thing. Your wife may go pull you to the side, like, "Hey, why you ain't do that? Why don't you do that? Do that kind of thing, or try to be comparative about it." And you know, it's just it could be rough sometimes. Single friends, sometimes your lady might not even look at that. Like she might just be like, whatever, you know.
Right.
You know?
Facts. That, and then also, you know, I just to play devil's advocate. Just because they married don't mean we got to go out as a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been times when me and you both been in committed relationships, and that don't mean that every time we go somewhere, we got to all go somewhere as a group. But now when we have conversations, it like the conversations is different. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm sitting here and me and Jose had conversations like this a bunch of times, like where it's like, if he's single or if I'm single or whatever, and or vice versa, it's never a point where he come to me and he's like, yo, this girl getting on my nerve. And I'm like, come on, come be my wingman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we both in committed relationships, now that's like, yo, she tripping, da, 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 da. Both of y'all will tell me straight up, nah, bro, you bugging, like, you know, just make it work, like this, and the third, like, you know, just do this, do that. And I think that's that's one of the pluses to having good people around you, and then also having committed people around you, because it kind of backs up, like, you know what I mean, like what you think and how you feel, like.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, for me, I'm just saying, if you have a baby by somebody, that's a commitment, like, and it's not something that you should just be able to walk away from, in my opinion.
Why do you think men deal with a female for so long sometimes and just won't commit to her? Like, I have my opinion, but I want to.
My opinion, I think in my opinion, there are men. I can speak for myself.
I've done that. Like, I know I'm not going to commit to her, but I'm doing everything that that relationship is supposed to be.
Right.
But I just won't commit to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think being selfish, not seeing like, so you know how good of a, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so you just being selfish, like you just want to keep it to yourself. You don't want nobody else to have it, but you don't want her. You know, you don't want her on that level. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it's a little different, right? For me, I'm more so on like what Hope has said earlier when he was talking about how the commitment to be married is like me, you, and God, right? And now after having this conversation, right, like, and just talking about the fact that, all right, you have a kid, that's a commitment. Now I'm looking at myself like just now saying what I just said, right? And now thinking about it full circle, like I have a kid. Like, what more like, that's a lifelong commitment. Like, why am I not married? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm looking at myself like in the mirror, like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, you bugging. Like, but ultimately my reasoning behind it was I just felt like there were certain things that I didn't want to like there were certain differences that we had in the way that we did certain things, right? And I don't want to say like nothing specific, but there were certain differences that we had that I just felt like, you know, I don't want to make this type of commitment because I take God serious, like serious, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to make this commitment and be stuck. because I'm not leaving. Like once, like that's it. It's over. It's a wrap. Like you know what I'm saying. But now sitting and thinking about it, like
why sometimes females don't? You ain't getting what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand why they.
But you know what it is? Depending on the timing, it could definitely be hope. A lot of people, like I ain't gonna hold you. For me, there's a lot of things. Like now, I realize after going to therapy, I realized that the one thing that I've always wanted from a child was not love. I thought it was love. Like I just need some love because of some of the things I've been through, this and that, and the third. Like, nah, I need loyalty. Like if I don't feel like I'm one and only, like the one and only, that's where I have issues. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if I feel like, even if I don't feel like at that very moment, like you could be talking to somebody, but if I feel like if a certain person can like just come around and snatch you, or like you know what I'm saying, stuff, I can't take that. Like you know what I'm saying, because I got abandonment issues. Like you know what I'm saying, so I can't take saying that I'm married to somebody and I feel like my wife could possibly be attached to somebody else. Like you get what I'm saying? So for me, I could say for me, that's why, like for me, marriage is something that like not to say that I had to wait on, but it was something that like I gotta make sure that you're gonna be loyal before I can say, and loyalty does not mean like, all right, you out here dying and bopping, like, but it's the little stuff.
So let me ask you a question. How long does it take to know somebody, to truly know somebody? Estimate.
I don't know. What y'all think?
All right, so I've been with my wife. All right, I've been married 2 years. I've known my wife for a total of now 7. But I'm gonna backdate here. I've known my wife since high school. I met her when she was a freshman in high school. I was a junior. So I've had all that time there, and then we had like a little break where I went off and did work, all this, and then we happened to come back together when she was 21, I was 23. So, even with so much time that I've had, I still am learning about my wife now. She's showed me the qualities, and I've showed her my qualities that we both bring to the table, and we got married, all that. But I'm still learning about her to this day. The little intricacies, the little things, that make her tick, the little things that make me tick. She's learning as well. But I don't think you fully ever know somebody. You know what I mean?
No, I was asking a lot of times they'd be like I've heard females say, you don't need 10 years to know if you want to marry me. Like, you should know in the first year. I don't think I can completely know you in a year.
Yeah.
So
you can't.
Like a contradiction.
You can't. And another thing too is you won't really get to know each other.
A ring in a year, I don't even completely know you yet.
Right.
I might not never fully know you.
Right.
But in a year.
Yeah. No, and I would say to add on to that, you're not really gonna know someone until you actually live with them and move on with them as well. Being together in a relationship and living under a separate roof is one thing, but when y'all under one roof together, then you see things that you see a different side for both each other that you may not. So
the pandemic broke up a lot of people because they had to stay together.
Yeah,
the pandemic
and crazy, and that goes to show you how that pandemic showed people how people really didn't like being around you. How they enjoyed your company for like in brief spurts. It felt like we was together all the time, but it was like, no, I'm here, now I'm here. I'm here, now I'm here. I'm here, now I'm here. Like, but now that you just got to be with me, get a little shaky. You get a little shaky.
Lockdowns, them 2 weeks together make a whole difference.
Nah, I'm telling you. And then we all remember when COVID first happened. It's not like how it is now, where it's like, go take a rapid test. It was like, nah, if you come to my crib, you're staying here. If you leave,
you couldn't leave.
Come back. Like it was the real deal. Like people went to the supermarket, like I feel like I seen somebody with a hazmat suit on, like the little, like people was really on their bully, like so. Yeah,
I know. I was walking around with a whole face shield and mask underneath. Trust me,
I ain't had no mask.
Because I remember you were saying you was like, nah, this COVID stuff ain't real. Like,
I mean, I caught it real bad.
I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, I mean, I had a mask. I had to work.
Yeah, facts.
for the most part, I'm just like everybody's catching it with a mask, without a mask. Like,
Somebody said to me one time, they said, "Yo, if you could smell, if somebody spray perfume and you could smell it, then they could get through your mask."
literally. So I don't know. When you
I
think
see
you
that.
won't get married?
You said when I think I'm gonna get
You
married,
heard me? It's gonna be some time to think that. Because they married, you know what I mean?
right?
Like,
Right. For me to
like
be
realistically.
so realistically, I'm not in a position where I can do it if I wanted to, but if I could, I would.
Right now?
Yeah, why not? Like, bro, to be honest with you, like, I'm really at the point, and it's crazy because this has been like a common theme, right? And I hope this not God trying to show me something, like my clock is ticking low or something. But this has been a common thing for me in the past, like, month, where I've really been taking it in, like, yo, and then you had said on one of the episodes, like, I feel like people take for granted surviving the pandemic. And when we really sit and think about it, like millions of people died. Like, you know how many, like millions of people, and somehow we stay like, that's like winning a lottery. Like, if you really sit and think about it, if we still alive, we won the lottery. Like, if in retrospect, of course, there's other things that went into play, immune systems and all this other different underlying conditions. Of course, there's other, but I'm just saying in the sense that millions of people died and it wasn't us, right? Then when you think about it in the sense of, I got people that I went to school with in high school that didn't make it past high school. I know people that didn't make it past 25. I got a cousin that was in his mid 30s and died, like, just randomly. Like, he just died. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember what it was that they say he died from, but like he literally was somewhere hanging out and just died in his 30s. Like, wait, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Jose, what you was, what, 28, 29 when you had your heart attack?
24.
24.
A week before my 25th birthday.
24 and had a heart attack. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I've been thinking about it like for the past month. I'm like, yo, bro, life is really not waiting for nobody.
So you feel realistic.
It's short.
Right now, like,
Life is short.
One person for life.
The only person that I would like, because at the end of the day, for me, and I'm not saying this in the sense that like she doesn't have any value outside of my kids, but if I'm gonna marry somebody today, it's my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna see my kids every day. I'm gonna be in the same house with my kids, like, and we gonna figure that out. We're gonna ride that till the wheels fall off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the most ideal thing to do if it was possible. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's the most ideal thing to do for me as a person. That makes the most sense. Like, you get what I'm saying? But of course, if it don't work, then, you know,
overall, you feel ready that you can get somebody that can.
Yeah. Do I feel like I can give somebody that commitment? Yeah. Do I think I'll be great at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, that's just how I feel. Like, when you gonna get married? That since now that's the game we playing.
No, I was just asking. Me?
No. Oh no, I was just asking.
Me, right now, I know right now, like, I can't commit. Not like the relationship wise, but like Josh was saying. Josh, right?
Yes.
Josh was saying earlier, like how everything is like together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I can't tell you every little thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. If I'm gonna spend something, for example, I'm gonna spend it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So realistically speaking, I don't think no time soon I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I wouldn't even put myself in that position.
Right.
Because I know I'm not ready to, like,
right.
And then me, I like alone time a lot.
Nah, and trust me, I'm in the same boat. I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. 100%. You know, I love to have that time to myself. You know, just chill, relax, watch TV by myself, just decompress almost. It's almost
I don't even like me. I don't even want you in the house.
Oh, I'm
being honest. I don't even want you in the house. So I'm not even gonna put myself in a position where like, yo, will you marry me? Because I think I'm ready. That part, I know I'm not 100% ready to, like,
right,
really give you this You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna want you around. Or I know you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, you gotta be honest with yourself. Like,
He said, "Now you got."
I know that I'm never gonna like all the time.
Nah.
Like, maybe
I hear that.
who knows, but
He said, "At this point,
I know I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know that line
100%. Like,
when they be like, yo, what you finna do? What you finna?"
I mean, get out. I mean, get out, bro. Like,
Oh man.
Do? All right, Hope, you got a date set, bro? You got some,
For what?
you got some years set. Would you next 5 years, next 2 years? Or we asking too much? I ain't trying to
Oh no, no.
Oh, you putting them on the spot here?
Nah, we listen. We like
Josh,
this.
you had the
know what I'm
wedding
saying?
and everything.
Yeah, I had everything done
Yeah.
already. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Ooh, I need to hurry up. Yo,
Oh man.
that's what's up, though. Congrats, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, yeah, Hope, back to you. You ain't off the hot seat, bro.
Listen, we working towards it. We working towards it, man. It's
Coming soon, man.
Why?
listen,
Why
it's coming soon. But listen.
Why you just gave like the rookie prep answer? Like, you know, when they prep you for media, like.
Nah, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. For me, you know, it's gonna happen. And it's gonna happen.
I believe you.
You
You know,
feel
we had a
100%
pan.
ready?
100% ready. Like I'm 100% ready. I'm ready because our relationship has been tested, and she's still there. So I know, like Kia wrote when she said like she ready to run over. She said I'm ready to like ride over them bumps right into the sunset. That's how my girl is. Like whatever bumps in the road, I know that we gonna ride over it together. She gonna hold it down.
I've been there for a few times.
Yeah, Trey, no,
I just slipped over a drink or two.
Yeah, and she, I know she not going nowhere, and she know I'm not going nowhere. So our focus is, just moving forward and building our life. And some people hear it and they're like, oh, they think it's full of shit. I ain't gonna marry her. Excuse my language, but or he's not gonna never do it. But she, at the end of the day, she know and I know. Like it's been tested. It's been tested, and we gonna just be in that car together, just
ride it to
figure it out. But I know that I'm ready for. But it's all goes based off personality. Like I know, like in 20 years from now, if something happens in our marriage, because you gotta think when you marry too. Like Josh has kids. When your kid get older and move out the house, and it's back to y'all again, and y'all used to raising the family. What my relationship gonna look like 20 years from now when the kids is out the house and now it's just me and her? Like, what we gonna do? Now it's like you gotta figure it out. You gotta find a spark. You gotta
starting over,
and I feel like a lot of people don't think about that.
Right.
Like
when
JoJo and Jamie and my third kid on the way is out the house.
Hold on, then, you just dropped the bomb?
I want to see if y'all paying attention.
I'm about to say, I'm like, wait a minute. I was about to drop one of Flex bombs. Like, wait
I want to see if y'all was watching, if y'all was listening.
Oh, man.
But no, when they get older, that's something we're gonna have to think about. It's back to us.
Yeah.
So, but it's coming soon though.
Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you though. I'm definitely hyped for that. Like I'm definitely hyped for that. I definitely want all parts in that. And not for nothing, like just to bring the conversation back full circle. Like I know we talked a lot about marriage today, but the key was really commitment. And how we can choose to commit for one thing that is actually a lot more serious than we making it, like having kids, because kids are not doll babies. Like you can't just dress them up and feed them bottles. Like after a while, you gotta take them to school. You gotta help them with homework. Like you gotta help them become like contributing citizens. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
people like the idea of the kids.
Yeah, like
pictures and dressing alike.
Yeah, like it's cute, right? But it ain't.
You got that baby, and you gotta find a work schedule that works around that kid's school. Now you gotta pay for after.
Bro, do you know what it's like to have to wake up like, yo, you know what? I don't want to get up. I don't have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't have to get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, but I get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning so I can wake him up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning so he can go to sleep at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I need him to go to sleep at 8 o'clock because I need to be a grown up, like for the last 2 hours of my day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or however long it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that sacrifice saying like, you know what? I'm going to get up early so he'll go to sleep early. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to miss nothing, but he's going to go to sleep early so I can be a grown up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot more to having kids than just having kids. And stop denying these people plates. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have that man kid, you can make that man the plate. Like, it's not that serious. Or something else a lot simple. Like, and this is why marriage should come before kids. Now, we all didn't do it that way. I know I didn't, right? So I know that's going to sound very hypocritical, but if you look at the dynamic of marriage, marriage is a commitment between you and another person saying we're going to ride this out till the wheels fall off. If you have a kid, guess what? Y'all going to ride it out till the wheels fall off. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the wheels ain't never going to fall off because that kid always going to be there. So don't think 18, because at the end of the day, when your kid get married, guess who they're going to ask to come to the marriage together? Both of y'all. Birthday party, guess who's going to be there? Both of y'all. When your kid have a kid, guess who's gonna be there? Both of y'all. So it's never ending. So you might as well get married first, then have the kid. We all didn't do that. You know, everybody ain't as lucky as Josh and
You think
Jose.
that'll make him want to get married? Like if he see both of his parents married, him growing up,
that changes
you around.
It changes the dynamic, definitely. I believe that. I believe that kids that grew up seeing both parents, it's not that it puts, especially if you've seen your parents' situation be tested, like if you've seen them go through stuff and then still be together, it puts that in your mind subconsciously, like, yo, I can be like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be together. Versus when your kids are separated from the parents or whatever, and you got to go check one parent, then go check the other parent, especially if your parent or parents don't know how to set boundaries as far as how many people you see that they're with. You get what I'm saying? So now if you grow up like, you know, my daddy had a girlfriend when I was 5, and then I like my other daddy's girlfriend when I was 10, and then my other daddy's girlfriend when I was 12, and then my other daddy's girlfriend when I was 15. Like subconsciously, when you grow up and you become an adult, you're okay with, all right, I'm with this person, now I'm done with them. I'm with this person, now I'm done with them. Because that's what you saw. That's regular. It doesn't even, you know what I'm saying? So to just to answer that, like, I do believe like being together with the mother, with the father, being in married, it does, I want to say alter your kid's perspective as far as being committed. You know what I'm saying? Or I think it has something to do with it. And then even if you're not with somebody, I think that the key is to not have anybody around your kid. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of these young parents do wrong. And some of the older parents did it too, is having people around your kid. Even if it's your friend, like, I'm sorry, we all been kids, bro. Like, that's your boyfriend. And in my mind as a little kid, like, that's mommy's boyfriend. Like, that's daddy's girlfriend. Like, you get what I'm saying? Especially if y'all laughing and talking. Like, even if it's not true, and depending on the relationship you have with your child, like if they have that stay in the child's place, they're not gonna tell you that they think that y'all actually like each other. Like, you get what I'm saying?
You think a woman is correct if she says, I'm not making your plate or I'm not being submissive, right? Because I don't have a ring. And she don't have your kid. Like, now you're not talking to, like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all don't have kids. Is it still okay for her to say that? I think it is.
To be honest, I think that yeah, I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you, because when you have the kid, that's a different type of commitment. When you don't have a kid, y'all still setting boundaries. So what that is saying, listen, I don't make plates. You either deal with it or you don't deal with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like you coming to the table and say, I don't want to get married. Like, that don't mean I don't like you. That don't mean I'm not gonna rock with you. That don't mean, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be doing you wrong. But
so it's a privilege if they do. Boyfriend don't get, like, so it's a privilege basically.
I mean, boyfriend don't get husband benefits. I don't think in the beginning, but at some point you got to upgrade the package. Yeah, like that's what like. At some point, you got to upgrade the package. I feel like
it's so tough because, like, if a female says, "Oh, I'm not doing none of this without a ring," but then at the same time, people tell you, show them why you should marry me. Like, yeah, it's so tough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's a judgment call. I don't think it's a black and white answer. I don't think it's a black and white answer.
Because it's like.
Yeah, it's a gray area there.
Showing you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I think same thing. I think if you want these things, then you got to do your part, the protecting, the providing, like everything that a husband will require. You have to do it, because a lot of times men be wanting females to, like, but it's like, bro, you got to give us something to submit to.
Right.
That's what a lot of people don't get. You know.
Hold on. Now let's talk about that real quick, right? Because I know we're a little bit over, but last 5 minutes, right? Let's talk about giving women something to submit to. What is it that women need to submit? Like, what is it that a man can give a woman, or what should a man be giving a woman to submit to? I want to hear.
I don't know. We're gonna look to the comment section. Ain't none of us women.
Like, but as a man, like, but, all right. So y'all put it in the comments, right? But as a man, what do you think? Like you, because we all have our own presupposition. Like, you get what I'm saying. So what is it like for me, right? If for me, I would think that as a man, I would need to give a woman a vision to submit to. You get what I'm saying? That's what I would think. Like, I got to give you, like, if I'm the boss, if I'm not the boss, because I don't want nobody to think like no controlling like narcissist. But if I'm leading the ship, right? I gotta have a vision. I gotta have a sense of direction that I'm driving the boat. Like, if you're gonna let me drive the boat, I have to have a sense of direction. Now, that doesn't mean I have this sense of direction and I don't tell you what it is. You got to know what it is, but that's what you have to submit to. I'm going to give you the vision and you got to get on board with it. So if I say, yo, we're going to have a house in 3 years, we got to get our credit up. Yo, I know that that you want a new car, but we got to wait a little while. We got to, spend like this so we can have it like this. We got I think that's what a man brings to the table, like structure. You get what I'm saying? And even when it comes to parenting, that's why the same way we got to let mothers be mothers and be nurturing and emotional. Women have to let men be men and be disciplinaries and provide structure. Because I think that as a man, that's what it is that you need to submit to, is the structure and the vision. So I don't know what y'all think. That's just my opinion. But ladies, if I'm wrong, let me know.
I agree, to be honest. Like I said before, I'm raised in a traditional sense, so I have the strong father, the nurturing mother. I completely agree 100%.
What you think, Ho?
I say commitment. I'm sticking with the theme, commitment. If I'm committed to you and we committed to this, then I feel like then that's what we move forward.
Right.
If you know that I'm committed, you know that I'm in here, and I got your best interest, I got our best interest, and I feel like, and also actions, because as men, in our younger days, we could talk a good game, but can you back it up? Yeah. I can sit here and say we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and it's gonna get me so far, but when you come across the right woman, that's not gonna work. Right.
Women too.
So
that be blowing smoke.
It's about action. I feel like your action. Like they say, it's cliche, but your actions speak louder than your words. So
that's a fact.
For me, that's what it's about.
You know what's so funny, bro? Jonathan put a post up the other day and he said, "What's love?" Right? He said, "What is love?" Right? And my comment on it was a verb. And what I thought about was that, remember that commercial when we was kids, and it was like, it's a verb. It's what you do. Like, nah, bro, that's a fact. That's what love is. What you do. It's not about that butterfly feeling, and like that's a part of it. Mm-hmm. But love is like me loving you in spite, me doing this in spite, like me doing this even when it hurts. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's why so many times people be having such a hard time letting certain things go, or even situations, right? Remember what episode was we was talking about? I think it was co-parenting, when it's like people can't get along because one of them don't be over the other one. I think one of the reasons why one of them don't be over the other one is it's not even necessarily that they want to get back with them, but they probably just so mad at them, like, nigga, I done wasted 12 years of my life. You get what I'm saying? And I was ready to waste another 12 in pain. Like, you get what I'm saying? To make this work. And you know what I'm saying? So sometimes not being over a situation is not even necessarily like, I want to get back, but it could just be like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm not.
I had a question for that, but I know we're going over time.
Nah, go ahead.
Nah, because we're talking about marriage and, the bumps. So does that only apply in marriage? Like, you're going to work things through? Because let's say a mother and a father, they're going through something and they split. Do you not give out that same energy? Because we're not married?
I asked that too, because when I asked, what is the marriage consist of?
Right.
A lot of the stuff that I felt like that was the answers was sounded like what people ask for in a relationship.
Right.
Besides the part of like everything is together.
Yeah.
Besides that, like, so it's like, so if we're not married, I can move how I want, because you got some people that feel like if we're not married, we're technically single.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a good question.
Honestly, bro, I'm happy you said that, bro, because I think it goes back to what you said, the key thing, commitment.
Yeah.
If we're in a committed like if we have committed to each other, we say, yo, we rocking out, because again, like you just said, your words is only going to get you but so far.
Yeah.
You could tell me, yo, we gonna be together forever. You the only person I want. I'm not looking at no other chick. I'm not looking at no. You could blow all the smoke you want, but when it hit the fan, are you gonna do like how you said earlier, yo? You know what? This is something that I don't even know if we can get past on our own. We gotta go to therapy. Yo, we gotta do like are you like last resort? I'm pulling every rabbit out the hat that we could possibly like anything, any and everything we could possibly. Are you gonna do that, or are you gonna bounce? You get what I'm saying? And I think, to be honest with you, like a lot of people, they be in committed situations. They talk, they say this, they say that. 1 week they want to marry you. Next week they out on a date with Sandra, Sam. You get what I'm saying? Like they actions don't add up. And the sad part is, in this generation, nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions. It's just, well, whatever the reason why they had to do that, that's what this is what happened, so that's why I did that. But what about the commitment that you said you made? You know what I'm saying? So now be like, does that now void your commitment? You know what I'm saying? So like I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I'm to really like come back full circle with your question. I'm siding on the fence when it comes to relationships, that whether you married or not, if y'all make that commitment and we rocking out, then stand on what you mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stand on what you say. And if there comes a point where you don't feel that way, I feel like it's only right, before you get to a point where you just bounce on somebody, it has to be gradual. Because if you could just bounce, it was never what you said it was to begin with. Like, never, plain and simple. Like, I don't know. That's my take on it. What I think, like, in a relationship, is it the same? Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as like should you hold that same, like?
I would say, yeah. If you
Me personally, like, I'm not gonna be like a hypocrite. I've never been 100% committed. You know what I'm saying? That's how people be like, yo, like, do you think you commit? And I'm not talking about like cheating wise. You know what I'm saying? I just mean in general. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like, I'm gonna, like, I have the attitude. I'm gonna do whatever it is I'm gonna do. Right. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna commit whenever I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And you know what though? And some people want to do that. Like, but now the sad part is now when you pump faking, when you saying one thing, but then you still want to do you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now you drag somebody down a rabbit hole, and they thinking like, oh, we're gonna be together, we're gonna be this, we're gonna be this, and we're working towards what Josh was talking about, being one. We running everything by each other. Whole time you don't want to run nothing by nobody. You want to do what you want to do. You don't want to come home to nobody. You want to go out, stay out, as long like you lied. You just lied to somebody for. So that's why I respect the fact that you really on here like, yo, keeping it real, because people be getting lied to for years. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then the person on the other end being the dummy and using their emotions, the love, and not the logic. You get what I'm saying? You just continually get beat down, till you don't have nothing left, and then you know what's gonna happen. They still gonna leave because that's what they want to do. They don't want to answer to you. They don't want to answer to you. They don't want to answer to your feelings. None of that. They want to go out and do whatever they want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You got some people that want to do what they want to do, whatever it is you want to do, but they don't want to let the other person do whatever it is they want to. Like, you want to control the whole situation. It's like, now you want to do whatever it is you want to. Let me do the same thing.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been through that firsthand.
Yeah, now everything changes.
Yes, yeah, I've been through that firsthand. Like, I can do what I want to do, but everywhere you go, I'm regulating. Like, I'm walking through like Debo, like regulating. But if you walk through somewhere regulating, you insecure. Like, so yeah, I definitely been through that before. So, but now I ain't gonna hold this conversation with you because we're almost on an hour 30. So, before we head out, Josh, you got anything for our viewers before we head out? Anything you want to leave them with?
You made me want to get married now.
Nah, you know, it's a joyous thing. I'll tell you that. It's not to say marriage is for everybody, you know. It's not for everybody, you know. Sometimes, perfect example, I'm married. Some people just want to stay together, not have to worry about all the extra things going into it. You know, sometimes people just want to keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, that sometimes signing your name on that line, exchanging vows, all that. You know, it can actually scare somebody. That level of commitment can scare somebody.
That's a fact.
You know, sometimes that person just wants to keep things simple. Sometimes, you know, albeit a man or woman, whoever in the situation wants to get married, you know, wants to take it that further step, they're ready to take that, but the person isn't. Now they'll say they'll do it. They're more, you know, they're put in a tough spot whether should I do it or not. And that level of commitment, now if they say, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then pull back last second, like some people get cold feet.
Yeah.
Now the person that's really all the way ready to do it now feels a way about the person that doesn't.
Right.
And then, you know, that causes conflict and things like that. But I mean, you know,
I think some people get married because a lot of they'll get pressured into it.
Yeah.
And a year later it doesn't work. It was because, well, you pressured me into this.
Right.
That's why it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It didn't come natural. So I think peer pressure a lot of times with marriage is like, oh, how we've been together, man, long, like.
That's why I always use the term.
And then you got friends like, dang, he ain't proposed yet.
I've always gone with this saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've always gone with this saying. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
You know, so
Thanks.
you got to be in unison, like-minded in some ways.
Right. Most ways, hopefully.
You know, so.
What about you, Hov? You got anything for our viewers before we head out?
I think Josh hit it on the head. I think marriage is not for everyone, and if it's not for you, you know, nobody should shame them, or, you know, it's just not for everybody. Another thing too is marriages. Again, you know, for me, marriage is, you know, commitment with the big homie upstairs. And, you know, some people, in my opinion, I know people who want to get married, not even religious. They just want to get married because they want the ring, right? But whatever it is, just do it. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes your relationship happy. You know, and I would say, if you're a man, don't put pressure on the woman. If you're a woman, don't put pressure on the man. Because I know a lot of people that are in marriages that may not be happy or you know, going through it, and there's people who are not in marriages. It's just your relationship is your relationship. You know, I'm not an expert on it. I can only speak from my experience and what I'm doing and my commitment to my relationship. So, you know, but just take each other's feelings into consideration. If that girl want to get married, you know, you're not gonna marry her. Don't waste the time. Don't waste the same thing. You know, don't.
I think deep down, I'm just scared, bro. Because
that's a big step.
Yeah, like not even just like it's not even just the marriage. I'm like, to be honest, like I don't want to hold nobody up, but some of the things I've seen.
Yeah.
I work retail.
Yeah.
In Home Depot. So I'm sure y'all can read between the lines when I say some of the things you see with people that's married.
Yeah.
That's a big, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not strong enough, like mentally. I'm not on Marion where I'm you know what I'm saying? I ain't got it all up there. Like, where I'm that mature, bro. Like, where it's like, well, that won't be my situation. Like that right there, seeing some of the things that I see, I'll just be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. Some of the things that I've done with married people, I'm keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
keep it
that
real.
That right there makes you like, damn, like if you could, you know what I mean, somebody's wife, it could happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why a lot of times I be like, with marriage, I'm just like, I don't know.
It's a big commitment. It's a big commitment.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Like, whoa, come on, son.
Talk about not having it all together. Well, you know, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want to incriminate myself. Like that's, but bro,
like not even just the commitment part, right? Like I always say that growing up, I damaged myself. I don't trust women because of nothing that they did to me, but what I've done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like messing with the next person's
so you
significant other, and you know what I'm saying? Like, or some of the lies that I told, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was asleep, knowing I wasn't asleep. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I wouldn't even, me personally, like, you be telling me like, oh, you have 2 kids, 30. when you going me, I feel like it's selfish if I put somebody through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, me personally, like I said before, I don't know what episode it was, phone call. I don't know how I'm gonna react. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be small shit that I don't trust, that I don't believe, and the girl can she didn't even give me a reason not to trust her.
Yeah.
But this is from up here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think that my question to you is, what if you got a reason?
I mean, that's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a reason, but I'm saying, well, my situation, a lot of times I don't even be having a reason. It's just like, nah, I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of it, as far as myself, the commitment part, like some of the things that I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, I mean, like relationship part. Now I've seen the marriage part is like I said, some of the things I've seen with married people. It's just like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that work husband shit is true.
Yeah.
That work wife shit is true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I work retail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't gonna
that
lie.
shit, like I said, I don't got it all up there to be saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me personally, I know I've personally damaged myself. You know, to the point I don't even know if I can come back. I want to come back. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course.
I'm telling you,
I don't know. If,
You know,
I don't know if I can, because
therapy,
I be
bro,
thinking
10 out of 10.
Son, I be thinking everything is a lie. Like, sometimes Shorty might be like, John, why would I lie about that? And I'll just be like, why would she lie about that? You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, it's just like everything is a lie. You know, even just with relationships, some of the things you see, I just be like, I don't know, man. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. And I work retail right along with you, and I done seen, and not for nothing, bro.
I'm not even just gonna say seen. I've done,
bro. Like, and not even just married people, bro. Like, people in committed relationships. Like, boy, come up to the job, and and people see him, they be looking at him all crazy. Like, you got him looking stupid. Like,
man, I don't know, man. Like, I think, like, deep down, like, you know, you want to be committed. I know I do.
Yeah.
I want to be married. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to get to the point where, like, I want to come home and I see my wife, and no matter how my day was, it just got better. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't there yet. Like, but deep down, that's of course, I think that's what everybody wants.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think we got the same issues. That's why I'm gonna leave everybody with. I think we got the same issues. I think at this point, bro, I got trust issues to the million power, bro. Like, I want to come home. Like, I want to come home to one person.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like, yes, lit. Like, you know,
seeing how Kia is talking about her husband.
Yeah.
Marriage, like damn, or even y'all two, like,
like, you know,
y'all not leaving y'all out under no circumstances.
I'll tell you what, it's one thing
everybody wants.
It's one thing when you come home from a hard day's work, you know, you putting the keys in the door. You got, you know, as soon as you open the door, your son is standing there. My son grabs my leg. I got my wife, you know, right there. She comes in, gives me a kiss, asks me how my day is, have a little conversation, whatever. You know, over dinner or whatever the case. You know, I may have food, or she may prep food and stuff like that. But it's like one of those real blessings at its purest. At its purest.
American dream, I'm telling you.
You know?
At least for me, I'm gonna lie. At least for me, like I think for me, that's something I've always wanted. Like,
y'all giving us hope, man.
Yeah, like,
I tell you,
that's something.
Y'all, Kia,
Trey,
I've been trying to do that since when I was 20.
My advice is I was the same way as Johnny and Trey. And Trey, you know, I ain't about to be up here incriminating myself. This was a past life. But I will say that my girl changed all of that. Mm-hmm. The doubts, the fears. I was just like you. Like, nah, she don't pick up her phone. Like, I done been, you know, like you know, we done been there. And it's sad, but, you know, it's just, we human.
So is it up to the woman to change that in you, though?
No, it's not. It's not up to the woman. It's up to you. You gotta give that chance. You gotta take that leap of faith. But when I first got with my girl, she could tell you I didn't want to be with her. Like Trey know, like, I be like, I just got out of a bad relationship. I don't trust you because I ain't trust her. I don't trust me. But the consistency and the commitment, I said, nah, this I can't let this go. You know what I mean? I can't let this go.
Say it's a contradict, but you see the key word you said, bro. consistency. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I
think
think
and for the most part she accepted me for who I am, and our relationship wasn't perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and paint the perfect picture to our viewers and you guys. It wasn't perfect, and I'm not one to shy away from that. But I got to give her credit for being, the woman that she is, and dealing with me, dealing with my family, and still being there, still standing there. So, for me, people look at me like, "Oh, why you don't marry her?" I want to get there, but I already know, like, me and her, we on the same wavelength. Like, we here.
That's all that matters. It don't matter.
That's what matters to us.
No relationship is perfect, but y'all make it work. Y'all make it everything. Y'all committed to each other, and y'all are working hand in hand. Y'all trying to make things right between each other.
I done seen them literally like argue, like, let's say, like in the early afternoon, right? Like argue, like right? And we just in the crib watching a movie, playing 2K or something. We'll go to the park, anything, right? Go hoop. Now let's say this argument happened like 1:00, 4:00 roll around. Medina, what you want to eat for dinner? Hold on, wait. What? Y'all not mad no more? All right, this is what I want, or whatever. This is not the work. Trey, you want some too? All right, I'm gonna make a little extra just in case you want to take some home. And did you get this juice? Oh no, you want Pepsi? All right, I'm gonna go out, watch the kids for a second. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna take the kids to the store with me to go get the soda that you want, because we don't. Wait, I thought y'all was
definitely sound
mad.
like Daisy.
I thought y'all was mad at each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Because we understand each other.
Like you said,
she know we both hot tempered, so we consistent. She knows that how we are. So if I need a minute, she need a minute. But at the end of the day, she know that I'm there, and I know that she there. And to me, that's what matters the most.
I ain't gonna lie, I got hope. I'm about to call my baby mother.
I got hope for y'all.
Yeah, man.
We got a whole lot of hope for y'all.
No comment.
We got hope for y'all.
Next episode, I'm gonna be a married man. Nah, I'm joking.
But what if a man say he don't want to be with a girl unless she want to marry him? We ain't talk about that, but probably for another day.
I ain't gonna lie, we might have to. So next week is gonna be the season finale, so it gotta be really good. Like, it gotta really be good. I'm trying to think of like what I want to do, how I want to do it. Like, I got a topic in mind, but I just feel like with a lot of the stuff I've been seeing online, like,
what is it though?
Oh, the topic that I got. I was gonna do.
I ain't gonna lie, because sometimes I be looking at the phone. I'm like, this nigga want to talk to me. I be like, bro, what? Like,
yo,
Smith slap. I'm like, that was work, man. I don't want to talk about no slap.
I felt like I had to because everybody was talking about it. Like. Next I really wanted to do like a mental health, like a mental health. I did mental health last season. I wanted to do like a mental health part 2, so I was thinking about doing that, or I was thinking about doing a part 2 to the spirituality versus religion, because nowadays people spiritual. I had somebody ask me earlier, like, yo, what's your sign? Like, you act like a Virgo. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus. Like, that was my response. Like,
but like topics like that, a person like me, I just believe in God. They be like, yo, what are you? I'm John. I'm not Christian. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just
believe in God.
Yeah, I believe in God. I believe there's a devil.
But and a lot of people take that for granted because it's like, oh, you didn't subscribe to a certain group. My thing is, I look at it, and this is one of my best friends, bro, like my brother, and I'm a preacher. What people would call a Christian, I consider myself a believer, but that's for because we're not even gonna get into it. It's not gonna be a Bible study, right? But that's what I consider myself, a believer, right? But a Christian to people that would want to know exactly what I mean by that. I'm not gonna sit here and say like this is not the first time I heard that, but I don't be on the phone with him like, you got a second to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Like, no, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You believe in God, you believe it. It's a foundation. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a foundation, and we can build on that. I'm going to continue to be me. I'm not going to shy away from what I believe in. We're going to talk about it, and if it strike you, it strike you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I got a few ones about. I don't know. Maybe we'll get in the man cave after this and figure one out, like something real good, because I really like this topic. but I do got a few memes that I got in the vault that I'm gonna, you know what I mean, throw out there. And if I see one of those and y'all like, nah, let's talk about that, y'all let me know. You know what I'm saying? But it's getting kind of late. We ain't as young as we used to be. It's some of our bedtime. Christina just gave us the I mean the way
Right.
good night. Like,
So what you about to do? That's the cue to go.
right.
Right.
What
When
you
you're
about
somebody
to
house-
Yo, I just see the meme like yo, if
Right.
you in my car and you on the phone, do you see me put my hand on the volume button? Just know that means hurry up. Like,
Yeah,
you
like,
know what I'm saying? It's time to get off. Like, but yeah, man, that like commitment. Just be committed, stay committed. You know, be there for that person. You can have a person's baby. You know, you can do other things for them. Let's not put small things over big things or whatever. Put things in their right place. And thank y'all for joining us for this episode. I really appreciate y'all. And last but not least, huh? Nah, I think so too, bro. I think so too. And last but not least, do not forget that a better me equals a better we. I'll see you guys next week.